All right, welcome back to the channel, guys. This girl here says that men are simple. Let's see if she's correct. Let's get into it.
Men are simple, okay? And I say this because I need to reassure myself sometimes that men are simple, okay? The main difference between a man and a woman is obviously our parts, but it's our hormones. And a man's hormones regenerate every 24 hours, whereas a woman's is 28 days. Okay,
I'm not sure if she's in the medical field or if she's a nurse or something. I did not know that, so I would have to double check that information.
we know this though. We know this. But one of the main factors that differentiate men and women is what we stress about. What does a man stress about and what does a woman stress about? Let me tell you, okay? One of the main things a man stresses about when he wakes up every morning is work, okay? That is work. Now, women, if you're gonna tell me work is the first thing you stress about in the morning, then you're a man. You're masculine.
So for me, if that's the first thing that you guys think about, put that down in the comments. I would love to hear that. Me personally, I don't wake up in the morning and think about work. At least in the way of a job. Now that I'm actually thinking about it, I'm sure she means in what I'm about to explain, where when I wake up in the morning, I think about my future, right? What am I trying to accomplish in the next 5 years, the next 3 years, the next 1 year, the next 6 months, the next 3 months, right? And I make a list of actions of all the things that I have to do in order to push the needle forward or move one step in the right direction. So the list of actions that I have to do, you could call that work. So I'm assuming that's what she means. But if she means like a 9 to 5 or for some of us 10, 12 hours, I remember when I was working 60 hours a week, I would wake up and think about work. And then the follow up emotion with that would be hatred. So I don't think that's what she meant. But yeah, let me know. Is she right when it comes to that?
You're worried about the wrong things, okay? A man stresses about work the first thing he wakes up in the morning. Okay, that's when his testosterone levels are at its rise, its peak, right? Every morning a man wakes up. Every healthy man wakes up, stresses about work. You got to get it done. Okay, women, the roof over your head was created by a man. Okay, the roads you're driving on created by a man. Men are simple. They get the job done. They have to.
Hearing things like that, that's a male talking point where it's like the roof over your head, everything was done by a man. I'm always cautious of women who speak like that. I get it, it's nice to hear, but I'm always like on a because now I want to see like who has your ear to be saying that, and then where were you at before you thought that, if that makes any sense, right? If I was taking this woman seriously, I would ask how her relationship is with her father to see if that's where she got it from. But I need to see who is the male influence that's in her life that's driving these thoughts, if that makes any sense. Another thing that I look at, if you guys even care, is her environment. One of the things that I love about femininity and I love about women is when their place is girly. I love it. When we the lights and the little blue flower here and the little paintings on the wall, I'm always, if I ever go to a woman's house, I'm always looking to see if her femininity is intact. And a great way to say that, or a great way to check that, is if her environment is girly. I like girly. You guys may not like girly, so that's more of a personal preference for me.
They wake up every day stressing if they can. Women, what do we stress about? What do we stress about the most? Okay, what do we stress about pretty much when we wake up and then when we go to bed? Men. Men. We stress about men. Now, I'm not saying
Oh, a lot of women hate when you say something like that. One of the things that I like is when a woman tells the truth, right? I love it when a woman tells the truth because, on average, and I'm not saying this is every woman, but a lot of them will just lie for no reason, for absolutely no reason, not even for some type of gain. They will just lie. And it really makes me lose respect for a lot of women when they lie to me for no reason, because it's like, what was the point? What was the point of that? Now I can't believe what you're going to say in the future. But yeah, that's really funny. The think about men, because a lot of women will deny that to their grave. We don't think about men at all. Everything we do is for us. Okay, sweetheart.
it's a bad thing because subconsciously women are looking for their mate. We're looking for our husband, a father figure for our children. We have every right to stress about getting our perfect man for our family, right? That is what we are subconsciously looking for and what we're stressing about. But what it's getting to in this day and age is that we're looking over our shoulders. We're getting jealous. We're over here like we're getting insecure over men. We're feeling empowered and above men. Like how can you stress about a man and then feel like you're better than him? That makes no sense to me. But like I said,
I think I mentioned this before. That's one of the weird, and you see this in dating all of the time, where you can tell that she's not her, but you could tell that girls are just not one track minded. We're like, oh, I would like a relationship. I'd like to go down here and be a long term girlfriend or be a wife or be a mother. It's always there. It's like they're battling between what they want and what other women are telling them that they want, and they're always clashing. And you're in the middle of the clash, and you're like, what? Like, what's going on? Like, are you trying to be my woman, or are you trying to be my competitor? Like, what's going on, right?
We stress about two different things on a regular basis. And a man's hormones fluctuate 24 hours compared to a woman's 28 days. It's different. It's so different. We are not.
That's another thing. If you're a guy and you have a wife or you have a girlfriend, you should learn your woman's menstrual cycle. This is a gem. A lot of you guys are gonna ignore this, but if you could pick up on your woman's menstrual cycle, you'll know how to treat her. Because her hormone, like she said, her hormone cycle every 28 days. Your woman is not the same woman every day of those 28 days. The things that she cares about fluctuates as the days go on. If you can learn your woman's menstrual cycle, you'll understand exactly why she does the things that she does when she does it.
Equal. We are not the same. Okay, this is where I say men and women are not the same. Now, as a whole, we are not all the same. Obviously, we have different personalities, but man, woman, different. We stress about different things. The second thing a man stresses about every day is sex. Not women, not women, sex in general. Why? Because men need their testosterone to be catered to. Just like how a woman needs to be loved and nurtured, right? We need to be like assured. We need to be loved and, reassure us of our love and our beauty. That's all we need as a woman. Just tell us we're beautiful and we're fine.
That's huge. That's really huge. I don't know if she meant it the way that she said it. Maybe she did. Who knows? But a lot of what I haven't heard that come from a woman's mouth in so long. That men's testosterone needs to be catered to. And if you were to ask a woman like how do you cater to a man's testosterone, it's probably one of those questions that'll leave you with crickets because they're like, what does that even mean? But that's such a powerful statement because again, there's a lot of the male ego that has to be nurtured, and if it's not nurtured, then we don't want to do anything because again, if men went to their base level of like the very basic, they don't really care about anything, like they're not trying to impress women or nothing. Most men wouldn't take showers. Most men wouldn't shave. Most men wouldn't get up in the morning. Most men would just drink beer and eat pizzas all day. Most men wouldn't do anything. They live disgustingly, right? But again, if a woman is catering to a man's testosterone, to a man's ego, it's going to inspire him to be a better man. And I don't hear that type of language coming from women nowadays.
You know what I'm saying? A man, he just needs some. He just needs some, especially in the morning. The morning is the best time to give it to him because that's when he's ready. He's ready for the day. He's ready to take on any stress he can in his work life and.
So me personally, I would skip the morning. As a man, like she said, your testosterone is peak, and the last thing you want to do is lose all of that the moment you proceed to intercourse, right? That's one of the things that, especially if you're a guy who's on semen retention, you want to make sure that you're utilizing that energy to do things. Now, of course, if you're in a relationship, that's completely different. But again, there are some relationships where you guys are banging every single day and you're losing your seed every single day, and there's relationships to where you're more is the word I'm looking for, meticulous. You're more intentional about it, so you might not do it every day, but you'll do it like once every 3 days, just because again you're trying to retain your semen, to get that confidence, to get that courage and go after the world and attack the world. So yeah, just be mindful of that, be careful of that. Don't always be, oh, I'm in the morning, I'm ready, and then go right to it. Okay.
The relationship, if you're over there like waking up in the morning questioning him already, like that's how it is. A man needs sex to validate himself. Like a man needs sex straight up like that. It's simple. It's simple. It's not that he's out there looking for a better chick than you. It's not like he's lusting over everything. It's just his testosterone tells him he needs sex in order to get the job done. Literally, that is that. And if you think it's any more than that, you're making it more complicated than it is because he's a man. Okay? We're more complicated than that. We have hidden agendas that we don't even understand, okay? Emotional intelligence is what we have, okay? And you just need to use that and actually get smart about how men are. The second thing a woman stresses about is kids, okay? We stress about our kids. We stress about emotional needs. We might have an inner child in ourselves where that's where we take care of. That's what we stress about, right? We stress about having kids. We stress about our periods. We stress about that. That's what we stress about. Second to men. That's different than sex. Sex and kids correlate, but they're different, right? It's like the sex comes from the man, and then the woman brings the children, and in return, she has to take care of them, you know? Like we both do. Men and women take care of children, but women have this different connection with children because we literally birth them. That's why we stress about them, because we birthed them. Our umbilical cord was connected to them. That's why we stress more than men about children. But guess what? That goes to my third stress for men. So the first stress for men was work. The second stress was sex. And the third one is kids. Because of course a man's going to stress about his kids. He's got kids. Those are his kids. That is his seed. That is who he is. And especially if he has a boy. Now, I'm not taking it away from daughters. You know, a man can love his daughter just as much as his son. But think about that. That is a second him. That is a double him. Just like if I had a daughter, it would be a double me. So after a man stresses about his work, he got his sex in, you know, he got his stuff figured out. That's when he starts figuring out, oh, what does my child need? He needs to go to a different school. He needs this for his future. What does my child need? She needs this. She needs to go to ballet. That's when a man thinks about his children, after he's already gotten everything out of the way, that he can, put the roof over his children's head, and he can, have his testosterone figured out, because that's what a man needs. A man needs his testosterone leveled. And every single day, his testosterone levels out. Whereas a woman, it's like once a month, okay? We fluctuate in 28 days, and it's so different. Like women, we need to understand this. And if you think you understand it, you need to repeat it and repeat it again. Because you'll find yourself in a situation where you're mad at your man for no reason, okay? You need to understand your man and yourself. That's what it takes to be in a relationship. Straight up. And if you think you just need to understand yourself first, that's selfish. Okay? The third thing a woman stresses about is her weight. Her weight. What she looks like. Okay? Because women, we take our beauty into the uppermost echelon of value. We value our beauty, right? Because we age, and when we're young, that's when we're the most beautiful, the most vulnerable. That's where we feel the most value, when we're young, right? So while we're stressing about men and children, we're also stressing about our weight and how we look, and we just want to be presented in a way that our man wants us, right? But the thing is, in order to...
I live in a city where downtown is a huge party culture. And one of the things that I'll never forget that you'll see is when a group of young, healthy, attractive women are just minding their business walking, and they pass an older group of women, and the looks that those older women give them. And I know it's out of pure jealousy or pure envy. And it's like, yeah, because it's like, no matter what that woman does, that older woman does, she'll never have the type of pull that this young, attractive woman has. It's like, as they get older, you guys know, as they get older, the pull gets lower and lower, because again, supposedly they're supposed to take that energy and then help their man with their community. And it's not supposed to be pulling all types of men, but they're supposed to use that energy to preserve their community. But that's a talk for a different day. But yeah, one of the things that I that's why I recognize the power of a young woman is when I watch older women be envious or jealous of them, because they understand the type of power that they have that the woman probably doesn't understand that she has yet.
Keep your man, you need to look good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't give up on yourself and expect your man to stay with you. Even if you have kids, even if you did tie the knot, even if you've been together for 10 plus years, you still need to look good, not just for yourself but for your man, because a man needs sex. Okay? Not you.
She's really repeating that.
Need you. A man will never need a woman, just like a woman will never need a man. But the thing is, how contradicting it sounds, a man built the roof over my head, so technically a woman does need a man a little more than a man needs a woman, just because of the facts.
One of the things that always pops in my head when that happens is when, what was that show? Kevin Samuels used to reference this a lot, where he would say, what was that show? It was like The Island or The Survivor. So basically, they took the genders and they separated them. It's like a man's group and then a women's group, and then they sent them to an island, right? And then they were basically like survive. And it was funny because it's like, I heard, I haven't watched it yet, I want to watch it. Whereas I heard that the guys got together, created a hierarchy, started getting stuff done, and the women just couldn't figure it out for nothing. So the guys are have their tents set up and everything set up and the fire set up, and they're just chilling. And the girls over here struggling in the rain, to the point where they had to go over to the men's camp and use their femininity. I gotta watch it, but I was like, dang, I can only, that's the first thing that pops in my mind. Where men don't need women and women don't need men, right? Always think it's that what Kevin Samuels used to say.
We both need each other. We really do. But women, we need to stop being insecure over what our man thinks and how he's judging, and we just need to stop overthinking that, please, because men are just so simple. All you need to do is just communicate. All you need to do is work on yourself, do the things you got to do, and that's all a man really cares about. He doesn't care if you're richer than him. He doesn't care if you're successful. He doesn't care what you got going on. If you're failing in something, or if you don't know what, being indecisive as a woman is okay. But if you're gonna sit there and play victim to everything in your life, like, a man doesn't want to stress about that. He already stresses about work. Work is the first thing he stresses about. And if he's not stressing about work, then he's probably playing around, and he's freaking around because he's stressing about sex. Okay? So to know you have a good man in your life is to know that he is stressing about these three things in the correct order: work, sex, kids. That is the correct order that a man stresses about. Okay? And I don't know. I'm not saying I'm professional here. I'm just saying I have experience. And I need to reassure myself as a woman, because I don't want to play victim. I don't want to act like I'm better than men. And I don't want to act like I'm better than any other woman, because I'm humbly myself. I am myself. And I learned a lot of different things in this life, about hormones and how we react to certain situations. And men and women are so different. We're so different, especially when we wake up in the morning. Men are so different than women. Like, I swear, there's a lot of women out there that are really trying to play this man role, and it's like it's not my life, so I don't gotta really worry about it. But I think there's girls out there that are really confused, and they're blaming men for things, and they're calling men dogs, and men are dogs.
I can guarantee you that the majority of those girls who are doing that just didn't grow up with a father. Just period.
But you know what? A man will literally tell you that he is a dog, because simple as that, he can actually be honest with himself. Women, we need to be honest with ourselves and be honest with what's going on. Be aware, be self-aware of what a man is actually bringing to you and what you see in him. Obviously, if there's a bad guy out there, you can just see it. Like, you can't hide away from bad people. Bad people are bad, okay? But I'm talking hormone-wise. Men do not stress about the stuff we stress about. They don't. They don't care. They do not care. We're complicated for a reason, because men simply don't care about that stuff. So who else is going to care about it? We do. And that's just recognizing the strengths and weaknesses in men and women. And that's just how we yin and yang together. And if we're just going to combat all the time, we're all going to be single and old, and we're just going to be miserable. No kids, or even if we have kids, the kids are going to be traumatized. Like, we're trying to break this cycle of traumatic divorced families. Like, it's almost normal. It is normal. If anything, it's like, oh, your parents are together? That's weird. That's weird. Your parents are still together? Like, think about that. Love is supposed to be pure. Love is true. Love is understanding the other person and their hormones and why they act the way they do. And, I feel like I'm talking to mainly the women. I'm targeting the women, because we just need to reassure ourselves, okay? We need to reassure ourselves and how we feel around men. Why do we feel this way around this guy? Why do we feel so, insecure? Why do we feel so, like, looking over my shoulders? Because you like him. Like, just freaking show it. Just show you like him. Show that you care. You know what I'm saying? Don't question.
That's one of the things that's missing a lot with Western dating is a woman will like you and then do things that are the opposite to show you that she doesn't like you. And you're like, okay, but then as you start to leave because she doesn't like you, now she wants to show you, and you're like, what are you doing? Versus you go to a different country and the girls are like, I like you. But they don't want to say that. But again, they'll be like overly flirtatious. They'll like grab your arm and hold you when you're talking to them. And you're like, oh my, like, I eat it up. Listen, baby, I eat it up, but still. It's like a weird dynamic where it's like you have to pretend not to like somebody if you like somebody. I'm getting older, man. I'm not dealing with that.
Him and then make it this whole big ordeal when it's so simple. It's so simple, because guess what? He probably likes you too, but he doesn't know how to go about it because he's not intuitive like a woman. Okay? But that's as simple as I can put it into terms of differences in men and.
Okay, cool. I would love to see how her relationship is with her father, to see the type of father that he is, or if she has a boyfriend, I would love to see how he is and how they are together. You can always tell a lot about a person when they're with their significant other, right? I used to have a manager who was like this big bag tough guy, but the moment his wife walked in, he turned into the most submissive dude and she ran him, and not in like the cute little, oh, you gotta ask the boss type of situation. No, like, she ran him. Like, you could tell he gets no respect. And it's like, bro, I like to see how the relationship dynamics are between the two, because you can always tell a lot by it. So yeah, this is a bad picture.
Women, like,
Okay. So yeah, I would love to see her relationship. Actually, what I'm gonna do, because a lot of girls will make this type of content, and then it's usually just like chameleons to where they're trying to get just a male audience, and they just eat off that. Which I mean, hey, game is game, but still. You should be scared, better not be better. Men set the tone, be the example. What's your price? There's inflation, passion is rare, posting good. Yeah, see, this is more for me. This is more genuine because usually girls who make these types of channels when they're getting, because I bet you 100% her comments are going to be filled with dudes and not girls. It's 405K views, target audience women, actual audience men. If women can give man peace, yeah, these are a bunch of dudes. As a man, men, women are different. The biggest offender ain't no girl stressing over my. These are men, right? So a woman could make a real big bag just off of catering to men, which I mean, game is game, but still, it doesn't look like that's what she's doing over here. Uh, right. It doesn't look like. So I believe her a lot more. She looks in shape. Yeah, I would love to see how she is in a relationship with her boyfriend or her father, just so I can get an idea of how she became to think this way. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be the video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, peace out.